Hi,
Hello,
Erik. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks a lot for joining.
Oh, no problems. Honor.
Eclipse will be one of the attractions at Summer Breeze Brazil. How are you feeling about this opportunity to perform at a major festival in Brazil?
It's amazing. Since day one with this band, we wanted to go to South America, and the years has went by, and we never came. But now it's happening, and I'm super thrilled, to be honest.
Since this will be your first time in Brazil, is there anything specific you'd like to experience or learn about Brazilian culture during your stay?
I would love, I'm gonna eat and drink until I'm fat and drunk.
And how are you planning the set list for the festival? Will there be any surprises or specific adaptations for the Brazilian audience?
This the set list is not done. We usually do this very like last minute, but I think compared to a European show, I think we're gonna, which will play a lot of new songs all the time. I think we're gonna, you know, it's maybe not a best offset, but it's gonna be we are probably gonna play a lot from, try to play from every record, because we've never been there before, and I know there's fans of every album, so I think we at least it's gonna be maybe not, yeah, as I said, a little greatest hits.
Okay. From what you know from social media, what do you expect from the reception of Brazilian fans?
Well, I've heard, as you know, we've heard that Brasilia or South American fans are crazy, right? So it's like Spain, which are the most crazy audience in Europe. It's like Spain times 10, right? Well, let's see. It's gonna be fun. I've heard so
I-
much. I heard only really good things about it, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Is there any Brazilian bands or artists that you like?
Sepultura, of course.
Who else? Anyone else?
Well, there's a Electric Mob. I
Those guys
think
are
they're really
good.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're Brazilian, right? Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're kind of my friends, you know.
Yeah, cool. Well,
We're
say
friends.
hi to them.
Yeah. Shortly after Summer Breeze, you returned to Brazil, this time solo, to participate in the Hard and Heavy Party in São Paulo. Can you give us
Yep.
some hints about what we can expect?
I think that's got. Oh well, it's gonna be Eclipse, of course, because I'm the singer of Eclipse. But it's gonna probably some songs from the other projects as well. It would be cool to play some Nordic Union or some W.E.T or stuff, and try to play some songs I don't usually play.
Have
Well,
you
it's gonna be
ever
some of the classic songs, of course, but yeah.
have you ever worked or shared the stage with Chess Kane, John Corabi, or Robbie McCalley?
I've met them all. I've mastered the audio for the both Chess Kane albums. So I've only met her. I've met her a couple of times, and but I've worked on her records with audio, and we did a gig together with the Dead Daisies. We opened up for Dead Daisies in Germany. So I met John Corabi there. I don't know him. Yes, we said hi, and I've met Robin as well at the festival. He played with Michael Schenker, and we had a chat. Real nice guys. So, well, I met them all, but I don't know anyone.
Will there be a moment with all four of you on stage?
Not that I know of.
But are
Yes.
you ready if they
Yeah,
invite you
sure.
to
I'm always
make?
ready.
Okay.
The
I
problem is knowing the song.
I would like to talk a bit about the album Megalomanium.
Yep.
You started with the title, which is quite intriguing. How did you come up with this name?
Well, I think Megalomania was the first working title, but it's everyone. If you Google that, you get a million different things. In typical Eclipse style, we made up our own, and Megalomanium is what came out.
It
Yeah,
sounds a little Latin.
yeah. No, maybe, yeah, maybe.
But what's the meaning behind it?
Well, it's actually part of a bigger plan, and I think we were a big headed, and like we just went nuts with creatively. We tried a lot of new stuff. We were like, we added new elements which we've never done before. The whole touring schedule has been very Megalomanium, and it's been the records, and it's well, as you know, we just added another single once again with Eclipse in end of February, and so it's things are moving, and it's
So it's kind of the step further for Eclipse,
yeah, it's
a bigger step.
we're at the point in the career which we can do a little whatever we want, and we don't have to, we're not afraid of trying new things, and be a bit bolder, I guess.
The press release mentions that the album includes the band exploring different musical avenues.
Yeah,
Which are those musical avenues?
we tried some punk rock, some emo rock stuff. We like added new influences, which influences that are essential parts of who we are. As what we always had stuck with the little classic hard rock sound before, even if we still want to sound like Eclipse, but we want to add even more, make it more diverse. And this is it's like a diary of where we are personally today in the music making. We don't want to make the same record over and over again. We want to try new stuff all the time.
You mentioned that you entered the studio with a lot of confidence. What helped fuel this confidence?
Yeah, I think right, the last year's success with the band, with all this touring and all the, and we also have a big confidence because the band, we really like to hang out with each other. We are like good friends, and it's like there is no fights within the band. We stand together as one, and that gives a lot of confidence. Because yeah.
No, go on. Sorry.
No, well, we enjoy the success and the failures together, which is really important. I think that's the best part of it,
Like a brotherhood.
Sure.
What are your favorite songs or most special moments in the album?
Hardest Part Is Losing You is one of my favorite songs. I like Got It. I think that's cool because it's more like a up-tempo skate punk song almost, which I love. I love the anthem as well. It's the very classic, almost folky song, which I really love those. That's the melody. I love those melodies. That style of writing.
We all know that hard rock audience can sometimes be close-minded. So how has the reaction from the fans to the new album been so far?
It's been, as you said, it's hard to. There are so many rules in hard rock. Like it's supposed to be wild and free, but it's not. It's like there's so many rules. It's like walking a minefield. So, but some people really love the record. They really love the record, and some people think it sucks because they think it's too pop or too punk. And you can't please everyone. If you please everyone, then you please no one, right? So it's like the most important thing as a band and as an artist is that we write the music we want to write at the moment, and not think too much about what others might like. Because as soon as you start thinking, what will others think about this music, then you're screwed, because you're not doing it for yourself. So and that's why every record is different, and yeah, that's how we do.
At the same time that you're willing not to record the same album over and over again, seems like the biggest part of hard rock fans want the bands to record the same album over and over again.
Yeah. But so if we do something different, people will complain. If we do the same album over and again, they will complain. You can't please everyone. It's damned if you do, or damned if you don't. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of stand above that. We don't care that much about it, to be honest. But we don't want to do like, AC/DC is my favorite band. We don't want to be AC/DC who, after a while, it's a dead end. you can't. It's just the limit of how far you can take those 3 chords, right? So after a while, it's bound to fail.
Eclipse is now considered one of the biggest rock bands to come out of Sweden in recent years. How do you handle this success and the pressure to continue growing as a band?
I don't feel any pressure at all, to be honest. It's like we just do our best all the time. We really do the best records we possibly can. We try to, every live show is not going to be the best live show we've ever done, but we always try to make the best possible show for the circumstances. We really try hard to, to do everything as good as we possibly can all the time. Sometimes sometimes we are the best live band, and sometimes we're not. And it's like, but we always struggle to, be better all the time.
You have done tours and shows in various countries. Do you notice significant differences in audience reactions?
Yeah, if it's Sweden, everyone stands like this. Yeah, and if they like it, they like it. And if you go to Spain, people go crazy and sing along from first song to last. And I haven't been, as I said, I haven't been to Brazil, but I've heard that it can be pretty enthusiastic. So we
won't disappoint you.
it's very, very different. But usually, it's different countries have different ways of showing their appreciation. And if a Swedish crowd or Norwegian crowd, maybe they don't go as crazy as a Spanish crowd, but we know what crazy up here means, right? So we know how to read it.
What were some of the most memorable moments from these global experiences?
When we opened up for My Chemical Romance, I thought the crowd was gonna hate us. It was an arena in Europe, and we thought they're gonna hate our band, but they absolutely loved it, and they went nuts. It was young, like a lot of girls, and we really thought they were going to throw rotten tomatoes at us, but they really opened their hearts and embraced the bands. And it was in Czech Republic in Europe, and after that gig, it on Spotify is one of the biggest countries in the world for us right after that one. So we gained a lot of fans. So that was a great experience. But every gig is different. It doesn't have to be arena gigs. It can be really small club gigs somewhere, and it's fantastic.
I was about to ask about this tour opening for My Chemical Romance. Eclipse opened for bands such as Aerosmith, Scorpions, but how did this opening for My Chemical Romance come about?
It got a question from what's called Live Nation, who did a tour, and asked if we like to be participating as opening up for them. And I really loved My Chemical Romance. It's a favorite band for real. So it was fantastic. And and Live Nation they gave us the opening up for Def Leppard and Mötley Crüe as well, so they've been good to us.
And you mentioned that you like My Chemical Romance, but what else do you listen at home that your fans might be surprised to know?
I don't know. I like indie rock a lot. I listen to like everything. I like skate punk a lot. I love punk rock overall. I like thrash metal. I love folk music and classical music. So I'm like very diverse. It can really vary a lot to what I listen to. So I don't listen like only to the like hard rock in my own genre. A lot of people think I love like AOR and Journey and stuff, but I actually don't have any, like almost no Journey records. I don't listen to that at all. I've never done it. It's like people think that I'm super influenced by them, but I'm not at all.
Did you listen to the latest Sum 41 album?
The latest
Sum 41. You mentioned skate punk, and I
haven't listened to that one though.
Yeah,
but I have the latest Blink one there.
Yeah,
latest Blink 182. It's actually right here in the studio.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I think it's great, the new one.
So, cheers. Can you tell us about? I recently interviewed Jeff Scott Soto, and he obviously mentioned that Sweats coming with a new album later this
Yep.
year. What can you tell about this new album? What can we expect in terms of style, themes, and musical evolution compared to previous efforts?
Maybe it's a bit more rock. I really like the album. I know everyone says the latest record is the best, but this is probably the best Wet record. For me personally, I really enjoy listening to it. I think the songs are really good. Musicianships, everything is like, I like the previous one as well, but I think this one is one step up from that one. And so this, yeah, a bit more edge to it.
From what I talk to people all over the world, there is demand for wet shows. Why not do
Yeah.
them?
Well, Jeff is probably the biggest problem because number one, he lives in LA, which is almost on the other side of the world from where we are living. So it's not like let's do a week of touring. It's going to be a lot of logistics and stuff. And we are very busy. He is very busy. So we tried a lot of times, but we kind of gave up after a while. And when he can tour, we cannot tour, and like, yeah.
Jeff
So it's been
mentioned
a hassle.
Jeff
Yeah.
mentioned
But we
that.
did it.
Sorry.
Yeah. No. Continue.
Jeff mentioned that one of the reasons is that it would be very challenging for him to sing those wet songs in a live set, 1 hour and a
Yeah.
half, singing those songs that are with a higher pitch and a higher register, and that would be challenging for him. Maybe he wouldn't do it. Do you agree with that?
I think he can do it. I know he always wanted to sing like comfortably. So I always when I write the songs, I always record them. So I always make him sing higher register all the time just to annoy him. Just to get squeeze that extra out of him, which he nails it every time. So I think it's just well, it's hard work singing a full set of high pitched vocal songs. It's not as easy as it looks or sounds, right? So it's and with age, it's get harder and harder. I'm personally, I'm still fine, but you know, we've all heard how John Bon Jovi sounds, right? And it's
you mentioned earlier that you hardly listen to Journey at home, but what album or band brought you into this melodic rock universe?
I'd say Europe. Swedish band Europe. Yeah. I really like them. They always have that, because they always have that Scandinavian and that hard rock, heavy metal kind of attitude sometimes, or like songwriting way, you know, like very Scandinavian or European way of writing songs, which I really liked when I was a kid. So Europe is really in my DNA. So I think that's probably the biggest influence when it comes to songwriting when I started out.
They have a harder edge and more kind of shredding solos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as, you know, the American bands were always, for me, was too polished. It was too sweet, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I of course I love listening to Survivor and Journey, Foreigner from time to time. You know, it's great songwriting. It's really good, and it's just, but it's like it's not 100% what I like. So it's like it's okay for a while, but then it's after a while I need to like after I listen to like Journey for a while, I need to put on Slayer
to balance things, right?
Yeah.
So if I were to ask you the top 5 records of your life, your favorite records, what would it be?
Yeah, I got asked that before, actually today. So they were asked for 3 top records, so I actually got 3 then. Well, I said I always say the Power Age is the best rock and roll record with AC/DC. Power Age is probably my favorite rock and roll record ever. It's like every time I hear it, it's just amazing. It's so much energy. The songwriting is there. Everything is perfect. That's like the highlight for AC/DC for me.
Keith Richards said he listened to Powerade backstage before every Rolling Stones concert. Did you know that?
Who said that?
Keith Richards.
Oh, cool.
He's a bigger fan of Powerade. It's his phrase is legendary about Powerade.
Yeah, cool. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We actually listen to Powerade backstage as well. It's like there's so much energy. If you're tired, you put on that record, and then you have a shot, and then you're good to go.
I got myself a Cadillac, but I can't afford the gasoline.
It was a lyrical master.
Yeah.
And what else? I said I really like Slayer. I listen a lot to Slayer. I'm a huge fan, and even if I don't listen that much to it anymore, I still put it on, and I really love South of Heaven. It's one of my most listened records I've ever had.
It's more slow. It's more slow tempo, and
yeah. Like, I love Rain in Blood, of course, but it's like Rain in Blood is like Let There Be Rock with AC/DC. Like it's got all the energy, but on the Powerade, the record after, they got everything right. And I think the South of Heaven is the same thing. It's like they got the production right, they got the songwriting, like they nailed it.
Yeah.
And what else? This is so hard. I love My Chemical Romance. I think
The Black Parade.
Welcome Black Parade. That record is amazing from start to finish. It's one of the best records on this after the 2000s. Really good. And what else?
It would be a nice collaboration between you and Inge Hardway, don't you think?
Yeah. What a singer.
Would you try to put it to practice?
I would love to do that. That would be great. I don't think you want to even. Well, that will be hard to make it happen, I guess.
Don't give up, man.
Yeah.
Well, I have two more questions before we sum this up due to time constraints. My first one of the last questions is, do you still have any dream regarding a musical career?
I always have a dream. The dream is to make the perfect record, right? It's writing the best songs. I don't think the best Eclipse record is done. I think the best Eclipse record is in the future. I always thought that, and I still hold that as a truth. And I mean that. I think my songwriting is different. Maybe the perfect song. I haven't done that one yet, so I think it's in the future.
But don't you think the quest for the perfect song, the perfect record, what comes next? You do the perfect song, you make the perfect record.
Well, I think making the perfect record is like finding the end of the rainbow. It's not going to happen, but you just try and try. But it's a fool's quest. I will not write the perfect song, and it will not happen. But I think I still try, right?
There's an American philosopher, Brett Michaels, that says the rainbow is better than the pot of gold.
Exactly. It's the what it says, it's the journey, not the destination. What's it called? Something like that. Yeah. And I think the journey, we're coming to Brazil, first time ever. It's going to be fantastic. I've seen new parts of the world. That's a really privilege of having this job. It's like seeing new places. We've been in Japan this year already. We're going to go to America. It's amazing to see the world and meet all people everywhere.
And as for my last question, I would like to know the difference between a good song and a great song.
A good song can be perfect in every way, but a great song gets under your skin. That's the goosebumps. When you get goosebumps, then you know it's a really good song, right? When it happens. And some songs just have that. You feel the song more than you hear it. And those are the greatest songs. Very hard to write. Most bands only have a few, one maybe or two. But sometimes the magic just happens, and it's hard to. I don't know how to write them, but sometimes they just happen.
Which song give you goosebumps? One song.
Oh, there's so many of them. Oh, I can't tell you. I can't even say one now.
Okay, no problem. Erik, thank you so much for your time. Hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did.
It was a pleasure.
See you next week in Summer Breeze and maybe
cool.
in May, because it's a 9-hour bus trip to São Paulo from here.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, have a great weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.